Не будет?
So, okay.
Будет.
Guys, what I want you to do, okay, we're gonna speak English only, okay, is to, I'm gonna do full presentation in terms of from the drinking going into a whole house filtration. And we're not gonna do question answers, okay? I'm just gonna show you the flow of the presentation, how I move from one thing to another until people are concerned and they like ask me like what it is. We're gonna take a couple here, okay, husband and wife for example, and I'm gonna work with them and you just watch and observe the way I, whose coffee is this?
Mine.
Okay, how I move from one thing to another, okay? And we assume that I arrive at home, whatever the setup was, the present, the test, we got new homeowner, it doesn't matter, okay? There is a difference how you behave, but let's assume right now we're working with the gift knife set, okay? And this is the gift knife set, okay? Should have prepared, but let's assume this is it. What we advertise is a Japanese knife set, and I brought it to their house and at the same time we're gonna test the water to see if they're concerned. So if I come in and I see the wife is there, husband is there, so I have nothing to worry about. I just wanted to say thank you guys for your time. Really appreciate, for you taking your time. So that's why we want to thank you by gifting you this beautiful Japanese knife set with the marble handle. Okay, this is a beauty, right?
Beautiful.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, and that's why we want to thank you as a being customer for Home Depot or net cost, whatever it is. Okay, just wanted to represent. It's going to be right here. I'm going to go over about it a little bit later, but I just want you to know that your gift is there, and I really appreciate your time. Meanwhile, I just wanted to ask you, like for example, we located in Nassau County, somewhere in Long Island or New York City, but let's assume we're in Long Island. So because we're gonna be working a lot with English-speaking people in Long Island. So I'm just gonna say, how long you guys been living here? A couple of years. Wonderful and so on. Okay, so just what do you usually do for water? Like I see you buying bottled water and you have refrigerator filter. Anything else I should know about? Like, do you buy big bottles, small bottles, anything like that?
No.
No, just whatever. You're using tap water, bottled water for drinking, but you cook with the bottled water.
Yeah.
Okay. With the tap water, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just so you know, a lot of people don't know because people say I don't drink tap water. I don't use tap water. I said, but what do you cook with? Like pasta, soups you do occasionally, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, a lot of people don't know if you boil the water, it's actually concentrate chemicals in the water. Okay, because back in the old days, there was a safe thing to do to boil the water. There's no chemical, there was no plastic. So people, just boil the water from the bottle and it was safe enough. But these days, I don't know if you know, we live in Long Island. I don't know if you heard of News 12 Long Island News? Yeah. This was a couple of years ago.
Contamination. Long Island's drinking water is the worst in the states. That's according to a new report on
Congratulations, Leah.
found in the water.
Number
And that's
one.
at St.
Yeah,
Martin.
the worst water in the state.
It's gotta be number one or something, right?
Water. So I don't know how much contaminants that we are getting rid of.
And getting rid of contaminants in Long Island's water is one of the conclusions in a new report about New York's water.
So in other words, one of the worst water in the state, that's because unlike New York City, water comes from reservoirs. Like New York City comes from upstate. By the time it travels through lakes, where fish swimming, pooping and dying and stuff. By the time it travels through Delaware Aqueduct, which is an over 180 years old tunnel, water tunnel, then treated and then goes to 5 boroughs of New York. So obviously that's a long travel for the water. So whatever comes from the environment, millions of cars, pollution. I'm sure the last time you saw the worm inside the apple was probably like 30, 40 years ago. Remember when we were kids?
Right.
You bite an apple and there was some extra proteins there.
Delicious.
Yeah, not because they don't like it anymore, because it's all sprayed. Airplanes flying, we taking medicine, you know, we all live downstream from somebody. It has to go somewhere. People live north, east. So in terms of the New York City, by the time water travels through the water tunnels, look like, you know, you see the 180 years old tunnel with, you know, rats, mice, and other animals. By the time you can have brand new home, but by the time the water travels through the pipes like this, that laid down many years ago, imagine your soup traveling 100 miles through something like this. Can you imagine? Or steak, nice juicy steak
That's what
for
gives it the
100
flavor.
miles crawling through something like this. Obviously, nobody in their right mind would say, I would eat something like this or drink something from that. But how do you think the water gets to our home? Right here. House to house, boiler to boiler. So just imagine by the time it gets here. So that's New York City, okay? And that's why actually, remember I told you about boil water, because they even warn you about kids, you know, because there's high level of lead. 311, they say, do not boil water to remove lead. It will actually concentrate. So don't be surprised when I measure your boiled water in your kettle, okay, if you have one or whatever, the urn, if somebody has, like for Shabbat. So I would get boiled water or ask them to boil it while they want. If I see that they're curious, like really, I didn't. Like let's do it so you can see. Get a little pot and boil 1 cup of water. So this way, it concentrated like 2 minutes and just cool it down in the refrigerator. So Long Island, unfortunately, totally different scenario. We are on the island, so we're literally walking on the water that we drink. So anything people do above the ground, fertilizers for weeds and killing bugs, car washes, dry cleaning, hospital putting chemicals like medicine into the flushing it out, it all goes into aquifer. And you see all these cleanup sites? This is all these businesses that they were dumping chemicals for years. That inside there's a Gremlin Navy was dumping for chemicals for 50 years, and there's a plume of almost 40 miles radius.
Wow.
And one of the highest cancer rates. So why am I telling you this? From the government point of view, as long as you drink and not die right now, it's a safe water. You're paying taxes for it, right? But everybody's immune system is different. Leon, me and you, we can drink a bottle of whiskey. We'll have a good time, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, but the same dose for 3-year-olds will not going to be a good time. It may be fatal, or 80-year-old, because the immune system is different. That's why if you have children or elderly, children have young immune system and elderly, so we'll have a older, so hospitals are not empty, medical offices filled with people, and 3 things that affect our health the most is air, right? 5 minutes, we're dead without air. Water, we are 70% water, and food. I can choose live by the highway, I can live by the ocean. I can choose. I can eat McDonald's or I can eat organic food. I can choose. Water is universal. Doesn't matter if you're a cat, you still need water. So we're here to talk about, to find out what's going on with the water, because we don't have ability to look at the water and see if it's good enough. And just because this bottle of water is sold in the store, it doesn't mean it's safe. So in other words, cigarettes are sold in the store, right? But it doesn't mean it's gonna track me. I think it might be. It's gonna track myself. No, okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm gonna take 1 couple of cups of your tap water. Actually, I'm gonna take 3 cups of tap water. And for you guys to notice, I take 2 cups of cold water, and I very quickly would switch to warm water for half a cup, and I would take this with me, and I would mark it. I know which one is warm water.
Why do you take warm water?
Because when I'm gonna do the chlorine test, I want it to be warm. First of all, for the fingers not to be cold, and second of all, it has less chlorine in the warm water than cold water. Okay, so I take 3 samples, and I would take each sample of whatever the water they have, and whatever the water that I bring, it's the I bring cold, especially in the summer, I would bring cold water. In the winter, it doesn't have to be that cold, but I'm just always would bring
In a thermos.
in the thermos water because the cold water tastes more delicious. Okay, and I would, fill it up. 2 cups of my water and 1 of each, whatever if they have a filter, if they have bottled water, it doesn't matter if it's a purified water. You want that water as well because it can work for you or it can work against you. I understand, but whatever, depending on what you're doing, okay, you gotta do it. But for example, Leon, just to prove my point, I don't see gravity. I don't jump from the building. If your child starts poking inside the outlet, you're gonna stop them because you know that.
For
The
sure.
electricity is there. For example, if I ask you, does this water look clear to you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Right? Jennifer?
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, as long as I can see people's like, no, yeah, I see bubbles. No, the bubble, you can see the bottom, right? Okay, look, if I put my water next to yours, I don't know if you can see
I
from
can see,
camera,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
but even without any test, do you see that one looks whitish or like clear,
yeah.
and the other one looks
There's a
yellow?
little tint.
So right there, your instinct of self-preservation, without any test, already telling you there's something is off about this water. You see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right there, there's like a little ding, 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 ding. Like something like alert lights already
Okay.
goes off, and that's why we here to find out. Now, do me a favor, try a little sip of this water,
Delicious.
okay? And now try a little sip of tap water, just a little sip, just for the experiment. Okay.
Awful.
Yeah. So you feel that even just that's your second self-preservation instinct already telling you there's something is off, like it feels heavy. Some people describe it like chemically, like type of smell. That's because of these chemicals that by the time water gets to your home, they interfere, and obviously when the water travels through pipes like this, they have to use some kind of disinfectant, and mostly what you feel is the chlorine, correct? You know what chlorine is?
It's a poison.
To kill bacteria.
Yeah, they use it to the pool, right, to kill everything, okay? And they use disinfectant, Clorox to disinfect. So the purpose of this chemical is pretty much just to kill everything. Now, you just drank chlorinated water, and we have bacteria for digestion. Do you think chlorine cares what you have inside your stomach? Or
Only if it's good chlorine.
good chlorine?
Yeah, kind.
What kind?
Kind chlorine.
Nice chlorine.
It's really nice to
There's not such thing as the kind chlorine. That's why New York State require following statement. If you drown chlorinated drinking water for 20, 30 years, it's associated with increase of certain types of cancer. Now, why do you think New York states that on the official website?
So you can sue.
Yeah, of course, it's a liability
Right.
because if you get sick, in 20 years, like some people smoking and there's nothing, and some people get sick. Somebody wins the lottery. But they say people with liver, kidney, nervous system, and ability to bear healthy offspring. I mean, I'm sure you're planning to have kids in the
Sure.
future, right? As long as they disclose it, just in case. But let me show you something. People don't realize that we're not only drinking water, but there's 2 different types of water. There's drinking quality and there's working quality. I can swim in the ocean, it's water, but I can't drink it. There's too much stuff in it. So we use water for different options. So just in case, keep in mind there's 2 different types of water. There's drinking quality and there's working quality. And I can swim in a pond, but I'm not gonna drink it. But people don't realize that we're also bathing and washing our fruits. Jennifer, do me a favor. Stick your fingers inside this water. Just hold it like the whole palm, like you're doing manicure. Yeah, just keep it there. And if it's cold, like you just
Right.
wiggle a little bit. Okay, because just imagine these fingers of yours right now. It's your whole body taking a shower. Okay, just keep holding it. I'll tell you when to stop. Now, sorry to use you as a guinea pig, but we need this for the experiment. But breastcancer.org, you heard people having breast cancer, and Long Island actually have one of the highest cancer rates. The latest study shows chlorine increases breast cancer, and women with breast cancer have 50 to 60 higher percentage level keep holding. High level chlorine byproduct in their breast tissue than women without breast cancer. In other words, imagine your fingers right now. It's your whole body taking a shower. I'm sure you don't take cold showers, right? And not 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. Maybe you heard of Dr. Keep
What
holding.
people
Keep
don't
holding.
recognize, and this is perhaps the most important thing I'm going to say today, because a lot of you know there's a problem here. You don't
Sometimes he
recognize
gets it
that
right.
problem here, which is the water we bathe in and shower in. Now, tell moms right now, and I don't want to hedge on this, I don't think that you should be bathing your kids in the tub unless you know that water's clean. Because what ends up happening is the water's got chlorine in it, chloroform, other chemicals and byproducts get into the water. It's warm. That opens up the pores of the child. Child bathes in the water. All those chemicals get absorbed through the skin because the skin is very absorptive, and your child therefore is being contaminated.
Go ahead, take out your fingers. You can wipe it off. Here's a paper towel. Okay, so this is the same water, right? Tap water, and filtered water. We are Home Depot service provider, so if you go to Pool Supply, they sell this water test kit. Maybe you remember there was, okay. So this, it's okay, leave it, it's okay. Yeah, close it. It's my phone, probably somebody's calling. Yeah, it's Jacob or somebody. This is the chlorine test, okay? So in other words, in order to check how much I have to put the right amount of chlorine in the pool, I put, look, 5 drops here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The one that has chlorine and bromine, guys, can you turn it off, please? The noise. Thank you. Forgot to tell you. Okay, the one that has 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably the filter is installed, but anyway.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
Do you see this? You see how yellow the water became?
yeah.
Okay. If you look at the color-wise, this is when you add chlorine to the pool. This is ideal. This is too much. So in other words, there's enough chlorine here that a little too much even for the pool. Now, tell me something, Jennifer. Do you know anybody in their right mind would come up to the pool and start cooking with the pool water? That somebody put
Right,
a
of
little
course
too
not.
much chlorine. What do you think we're doing here? And take a look here. You see the chlorine is barely there.
Right.
Where do you think the chlorine went?
In my body.
Yeah, your skin absorbs it and it's in your bloodstream. The same way, you know how we put medicine patch and medicine goes through your skin?
Mm-hmm.
Same way, the chlorine just absorbed. I don't know if you have an apple or potato. If I put right now, I see the apple, you know, I'll dice a couple. Look how quickly our fruits, vegetables, we're trying to get the good ones, like not rotten one, not the organic, kosher food. People pay extra for halal.
Mm-hmm.
And we use this pool water to cook with, okay? So look how quickly, and I put it inside, within a second I swirl it, the chlorine is gone. Now where's chlorine? Is in the apple, and then it goes to who?
Us.
To us, and we drink it and we give it to kids, and okay, so it kind of defeats the whole purpose. Because let me ask you something, okay, I know you buy bottled water, but what if you had to cook right now with bottled water, okay? Would it be expensive? Like you see
Yeah.
people carrying big bottles, small bottles, okay? Some of them do, but their bill is like over $100. It's very, expensive. But at the same time, it doesn't mean it's good. Let me explain. So here, I just showed you that there is something in the water we cannot see. I'm just gonna put it aside, okay? But we can measure it. Let me get another cup. Water. Okay, and we can measure it. And some of them, unfortunately, are even not regulated. What I mean is there's 80,000 chemicals are being registered in the United States. Leon, how many do you think United States government monitors and reports to us on how many?
Roughly 200.
Yes, 200 to 300. You're absolutely right. For example, something like this is not even regulated.
Pain
Painkillers, blood thinners, and chemotherapy drugs are just some of the substances that are found in your drinking water.
The medicine in our water. Have you heard about it?
Up in our water at levels never seen before. CBC's Kelly Crow has more on that.
There's something happening to the rainbow darter. If they're downstream from a sewage treatment plant, the male fish turn into female.
If you expose
You hear
them
that?
to
Boys becoming girls.
That's what's happening in
I
all
mean, you
schools.
see what's going on
That's
here?
the deal.
Team switching going on around here. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm sure you don't want your son to bring a nice boy to the family or girl. But I'm just saying, like, it's very easy to see, like, when we were growing up, or our parents, did anybody had allergies? Or it was, like, very rare. Now, they don't even ask you if you have it. They say, like, what allergy do you have? Like, because everybody has some kind of allergy, because there's so much chemicals in food, water, okay, that even bugs, don't want to eat the apples. But
water, they will feminize. They will have eggs in the testes.
What's causing the males to develop eggs? Human hormones, residue from prescription drugs that are flushed into the river. Using new highly sensitive equipment, scientists are finding an increasing variety of prescription drugs in the waterways. Painkillers, blood thinners, chemotherapy agents, hormones, antibiotics. If we swallow it, scientists can find it in the water.
Some of the drug comes in us and through us and
New
out
York?
us, totally unchanged. So we actually have active drugs going into the waterway through our
can you
urine.
imagine, Leon, you drinking your water and there's someone else's diabetes, your medicine or chemo or antibiotic? I mean, I'm just saying, like, that could be contributing. Maybe it's a little, but if it's enough for male fish to turn females, I mean, maybe, something needs to be done about it. You know what I mean? So why am I telling you this? Ask me how many water suppliers in the country filter out pharmaceuticals out of the water.
I already know.
None. Zero. Because they don't consider it academic. Out of 80,000, they say, well, it has to go somewhere. We're on an island. Where is it going to go? Not everything goes to the ocean, by the way. I don't know if you guys know. People live in the middle of the United States. It has to go somewhere, and eventually they treated the sewage, but then it goes back to water supply, and we end up drinking it. So from the government point of view, they do warn you to see, like, long-term exposure. You can have liver problem, kidney problem, increased risk of cancer. I can show the EWG here. If people want to like what is this? It's like we go and I go back to EWG. I don't want to use my phone right now. So, but I'm telling them right now, this is the most important thing. I do it like this, and I point that out because I want them to hear and pay attention right now. I said, they do warn you that long term you can have increased risk of cancer, and the hospitals are not, funeral homes are working. The problem is they don't tell you how they work together. They check each chemical individually. For example, if I drink a glass of wine and the cop pulls me over, he won't arrest me. Just a glass of wine or beer, right? But if I drink glass of wine, glass of tequila, glass of beer, glass of scotch, glass of Mama Juana, together, I'm going to jail. But individually, it's okay. Try to tell it to the cop, I'm drunk, but I drank it individually. You're still gonna go to jail. So same thing with chemicals. We don't see them. Yes, you saw something. People get used to things like going to the public bathroom. It stinks. After a few minutes, you get used to it. So a lot of people get used to it, or they don't like it and they have to buy bottled water because of that difference that you felt. Bottled water industry make over $100 billion a year in profit. Okay, so you don't see these chemicals, but we can measure. And I don't know if you know, we have the same water on the planet for millions of years. Technically, this was inside the dinosaur because it's the same molecule going up and down. By the way, interesting fact, Jennifer, do you know how much drinking water we have on the planet with all the oceans and rivers and icebergs?
How much?
Less than 1%.
Oh wow.
Let it sink in, okay?
Wow.
So if you think the big deal is oil right now, in the next 50 years, there's going to be wars. There's already wars for the water, like California, fighting with everybody, like shortage, or Georgia and Florida. Okay, it's coming, but I'm just saying, like, so we have to wake up and do something. So I know, listen, we in the big city, we have millions of cars, pollution and all this stuff, but if I go to the mountain and I measure the snow or rain, like freshly fallen rain, that's actually going to be the cleanest water on the planet, believe it or not.
Is ultra clean. With this simple meter, I can measure the number of dissolved solids inside some fresh melted snow. The snow measures 0. That means there's 0 detectable dissolved solids.
So in other words, the definition of pure water, it should be anywhere between, it should be free of all chemicals and must be no more than 10 parts per million of total dissolved solids. If I'm in New York City, I can show this, and because the number is going to be below, like after our filtration is going to be between 0 and 10. If I'm in New Jersey or Long Island, it's over 100, so I would say anything up to 20. And I don't have to show this, but this way, you know, this way they can tell you, oh, you said it was 0, and it shows me 0.6 or something. So I show them like this, okay? So let's start with my water. If I'm claiming that this is pure water as H2O, the way water should be, if I put it inside my cup, do you see it says 003, right? So that means this water is absolutely as even 02, you see, as pure as you can get, like in the video we showed. Let's start with tap water. What do you think, Jennifer? Let's play Price is Right. What do you think it's going to show?
20.
20. Oh, I like your optimism. Oh, okay, it's actually 52. So that's 52 times more than 50 times more than in here. Right? But it's okay. They say you pay taxes. It's okay. You're not gonna, maybe 20, 30 years, maybe. You know, you're playing to have. Okay, let's check this. Okay, remember, this is your Brita filter. Okay, is the filter supposed to make it less or more?
Less.
Logically, right? So if I measure it, even if it shows a little less or the same amount or more, I can, at this time, I decide what I say. Right. So practically the same or more. Like how come it's more? Like if you have one single filter, it's going to show sometimes more.
It's clogged.
Or yeah, right? You surprised? I'm going to explain to you in a second. Okay, I'll keep them in suspense. I want them to know why. Okay, bottled water, doesn't matter if it shows 45, 25, it doesn't matter, 0. Okay, it's like, oh, you see, this is purified water. Okay, so it's actually clean. But let me tell you something, if this is so clean, if you have to cook with this water right now, how much water you need for a family of 5?
Right.
Can you imagine? You need at least 2-3 gallons, right?
Right.
So I can work as a advantage, like economically it makes sense to install it than carrying all these bottles. Or if it's more, let's say my water shows 52 from tap and the bottled water shows 25 from Poland Spring. I said, what if I tell you right now, I'm going to disappoint you again, that this 25 is actually 1,000 times worse than that 52? Why? Right. It's like, great question. I'm going to answer you right now, but let's finish this. And I go, and remember how I told you the boiled water is actually going to be the worst? Mm-hmm. Let's check. And whatever the water they use, doesn't matter if it's bottled water or tap water, it's going to be more. So at least see, even if you use bottled water, it concentrated, it became from 25, became 29 or 30 or so. So I use this, and if it's tap water, this boils what, for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and shuts off? What about if it boils for half an hour sometimes, like you're making pasta or something? Can you imagine the concentration? So first, Leon, you have to make sure that the water is clean and then boil it once, not multiple times the way we were learning, because otherwise you concentrate. But here it doesn't matter. If it's clean, 0 times 0 is how much, Jen?
0.
0, okay, great. So I don't like my tea cold, I like it hot. So yes, I can boil clean water as much as I want because there's nothing to concentrate. But while I'm gonna explain to you, I'm gonna do one more test, which is very visual test. So you'll be able to see, okay? Maybe you remember from chemistry, okay, there was a class where if I put salt inside the water, what would happen to the salt?
I didn't hear that.
Okay, if I put salt like in the ocean, we don't see the salt in the water. What would happen to the salt?
Dissolves into the water.
Dissolve. That's what dissolved solids means. In other words, anything water touch, whether it's a plastic bottle or metal pipe that goes from upstate to there. Along the way, water is the best solution to dissolve things. It dissolves mountains, dissolves shoreline, dissolves medicine when you put it in. That's why it's a perfect solution. So when it dissolves, it becomes positive and negative. It becomes part of the water molecule. So positive, this is device, positive, negative, positive, negative. You see it's not dirty. See, I showed this people so they can see, that's why I keep it clean. I'm gonna take their cleanest water, which is bottled water or filtered water. So whatever the smallest number I have, I'm gonna use their first. Smallest, let's say tap water and bottled water or filter, because I want this to be as long as possible to stay there. If I'm in New Jersey and the $400 4 parts per billion TDS, I know that I only have 1 minute and it's gonna go fast. If I'm in New York City,
You use with the cleanest water, you use the H2O?
no, I keep mine for the rest.
For the last. Okay, got it.
Unless they insist. Okay, and I was like, fine, sure. Okay, but first because why? Because I know approximately how much time I have by the time it gets, so I can, if I'm in New York City, I have 5-10 minutes to talk about bottled water and filters, or as long as I need to talk about it. If it's very low for something, even if it's 12, okay, if it's purified water, whatever, and so I buy myself time so I can talk. Now, so usually I would start with bottled water and say, guys, let's start with bottled water. First of all, I don't blame you for buying bottled water. I understand why people do it, because they either don't like the taste or they don't trust tap water. But in reality, do you know where that water came from? Just because you sold it in the store, it doesn't mean it's safe. For example, bottled water, like a big company like Nestle, who owns Poland Spring.
It's a colossal fraud. That's what a new lawsuit filed in Connecticut says about Poland Spring bottled water. 11 consumers filed the class action lawsuit. The plaintiffs say it's not 100% spring water, as Nestle, who owns Poland Spring, suggests. It's groundwater.
I have to show it because I understand. I want to show you where I stop and I point it out. Because if I scroll down, they're gonna do the whole video. So I stop it right there, or where it says 50 years. Because I said, look, you see, they were sued in integrity of Poland Spring, a class action lawsuit. They were sued multiple times. They settled that class action lawsuit, and they say a regional Poland Spring hasn't flown since 1967. There is no Poland Spring. It's literally water from ground from asphalt parking lots. So in other words, they drilled a hole. You can drill a hole in your backyard right now, and it's going to be Poland Spring technically, but you pay 2,000 times more for that bottle what you have right here in tap, from the tap. It's kind of like buying a sandwich for $20,000, would you? Okay, but that's how we overpay. Every time I go to I have no choice, like in the airport, I'll buy an $8 bottle, I'll drink it because there's no choice, I have to buy it. But here we have a choice, okay? And big companies like Costco, BJ, whatever you buy, supermarket, Smart Water, Essential. By the way, Leon, we have a little joke, inside joke. If you pay $3 for a smart bottle, for a smart water bottle, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not working. It's not working. But I'm just like, it's a joke. So what I'm saying, they do admit they're using tap water because water is very heavy. Have you carried a case or a big bottle? So it doesn't make for them sense to bring it from far away. It's too expensive. So they take local water. They do filter it, but the problem is not the water. The problem is the bottle. Because what happened, do you know how long Fiji water comes to the United States? On the barge, in the middle, from Fiji. Almost 2.5 months. Do you think somebody air conditioned the barge in the middle of the Pacific? So, about 20 years ago, there was a big scandal, maybe you remember.
Chances are, at one point or another, you've left a bottle of water in your car, thinking you're going to finish it off later. It gets hot inside your car. You may have even received an email claiming that drinking bottled water can cause cancer after that heat. Is it truth or is it fiction? Laura Sample has the answer.
Dr. Miriam Marchese is a naturopathic physician in Scottsdale who focuses on women's health and environmental medicine. She says chemicals from plastic bottles are linked to breast cancer and other hormonal conditions such as uterine fibroids, endometriosis, and early puberty in young girls. In men, decreased sperm counts and prostate cancer.
I'm sure nobody wants to hear anything like this diagnosis, neither women or men, okay? So 20 years ago, there was a big scandal because they were using a chemical called bisphenol A. Maybe you remember BPA, remember?
Right.
There was a big scandal, okay? That was BPA free. So after that, I find out that it was because what it does, it mimics estrogen. All these chemicals, they start working like an estrogen for women,
Right.
but
And
works
for men.
for men as well. So it was infertility problems, all these problems. So they say, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Big scandal. We're gonna replace BPA and we're gonna call it BPS. So in other words, we changed the formula slightly. Now it's not BPA, it's BPS. We can sell it. And they keep selling it
Right,
up till
BPA
now. This
free.
is BPS
Right.
plastic. Legally, they can sell it.
Right.
The problem is it still mimics estrogen because the chemistry, the theory of chemistry hasn't changed since 16th century. The way it works is like this. This is the cup of poison. If I drink the whole cup of poison, I'm dead. But if it's a drop of poison, maybe in 30 years. So little, okay? The problem is the hormones work opposite of poison. It means the less, the more effective it's working. Let me give you an example, Leon. A woman take a pill not to get pregnant. You know how small is the dose? I'll draw you a picture. Imagine a pancake on top of a pancake. You know, like I stack them up and I make 4,000 miles of pancakes. A lot of pancakes?
A lot of pancakes.
One pancake out of 4,000 miles of pancakes is the dose that women take, and it's almost 99% effective. You can get pregnant just from that little
Wow.
dose. One drop in Olympic-sized swimming pool. Nothing, right? Very low. Okay, that's the dose that women take. They say when the water sits inside the bottle, sometimes it just came out recently.
Tonight, there's an alarming new report about the water you're drinking from plastic bottles. CBS's national environmental correspondent David Schechter has the details.
It's a sobering study and could have profound health implications on the way we consume water. Scientists at Columbia and Rutgers now say an average liter of bottled water
1 liter
contains nearly 250,000 particles of nano.
So in other words, in a gallon of water, you have almost 1 million particles, plastic particles, on top of the chemicals that the plastic releases. I mean, I'm not saying like it's there so little, but together over time, it builds up in the body. And just in case, if you decide to sue the government, guess what they're saying about bottled water? See, Environmental Protection Agency frequently asked question, what about bottled water? Bottled water is not necessarily safer than your tap water. As long as they say that it's not safer, you can't sue them because they told you. Some bottle treated more, some treated less, or what does it say here, Jennifer? Not treated
at all.
You know what that means? It means that they can take water and just sell it to you without even checking or sending it to FDA. Because a lot of people don't know, don't tell anybody that it's a secret. 70% of water produced in state and sold within state because they don't want to carry it, nobody checks it. It's not under FDA jurisdiction. So in other words, bottled water industry completely self-regulated.
Right.
So they don't have to report to anybody. Can you imagine?
Wow.
It's crazy. So it's like somebody selling you food, like let's say, I don't know, milk or meat or fish, and nobody checks it if it was tested or not. It's pretty much what's happening.
Yeah.
Plus, on top of everything, okay, you know what it is? This is Pacific Ocean between Hawaii and California. You know how big is this?
Size of 2 Texas.
It's almost 2 sizes of 2 Texas. 10 feet deep. Guess who's eating it? Fish. Who likes the sushi? We are. We eat the fish. So no wonder they're looking at the Mars and the Moon. I mean, there's 5 of them. This is the biggest one. There's every ocean have this, and Caribbean have 12 miles radius plume right now. So we do encourage people to use as much as possible stainless steel bottles or glass. I know it's impossible. Yes, you're in the city and you're thirsty, you're gonna buy the bottle. But we don't go for lunch, breakfast, dinner, you know, somewhere outside. We cook at home, we make dinner, you take showers and stuff. If we can minimize the exposure, I look at it as like a battery in the phone. If I own the phone all the time, my battery dies fast. If I preserve it, it lasts longer. Same thing with our health and immune system. The more we abuse it through food, not proper food or not healthy air, pollution and stuff, so our immune system have to have a reserve to fight it. That's why our parents, grandparents, reaching 80, 90 years old because it's they preserved better. They caught better glimpse. I caught the glimpse of that planet. I remember one strawberry you would bring and it smells like, you know, like the whole house smelled like strawberry.
Oh wow.
Now it's you know, you don't see this anymore. Plus it's expensive. How much is the gallon of water, Jennifer, right now cost? You know?
At least $2.
$2. Yeah, I remember it was 99 cents. Now it's $2, right? Okay. Do you need a gallon or two a day at least?
At least.
At least.
Especially
Plus Leon has to go drive. They say it's convenient. You have to get in the car, spend time in gas, drive to the store, put it in the cart, bring it to the cashier, pay the money to the cashier, put it back in the cart, bring it to the car, put it in the trunk,
Right.
take out the trunk, bring it upstairs to the
Like
second
that
floor.
delivered.
Okay, recycle. I don't. It does to me it doesn't sound okay. Or then you're paying for the delivery. Then you're overpaying for that.
Right.
Okay, but you're still
It's
paying
free,
for it.
It's free.
Okay, it's free. Yeah, right.
Delivery is free.
Yeah. Okay. What I'm saying is you're already paying for the water, even though you're paying taxes here, correct? As far as I remember, it's not little, right? What is it, like $1,000 a month for Uncle Sam? Like I wish even more sometimes. Okay. So what I'm saying is that's why people install filters, because if we don't filter, this is what we filter. And by that time, I usually already have the results, and I see. You see. This is filtered water, not filtered water. Okay, come on, it's another cube. Go ahead. Okay, so do you see, Liam, Jennifer?
Oh my God! It looks
Oh my God!
fantastic.
So this is the water that you pay for. Okay, you bought the bottled water, and this is the usually like filtered water. So for both of those filters, those waters, you paying for it already. Those I remember the chemicals I showed you, the chlorine. The pharmaceuticals, the EWG report. Remember the chromium 6 hexyl?
Right.
This most likely this is what it is. Okay. Now what I want to tell you is that most of it our body doesn't keep it, we reject. But as we get older, we have a saying like with age only cognac and wine become better, right? So what I'm saying is that what do you think, Jennifer? Do you think, in your opinion, can this somehow over the years maybe somehow affect our health and our kids?
Absolutely.
Leon, you would?
I'm 100% with that.
So, in other words, I'm sorry I have to ask this. Is maybe sounds silly question, but I have to ask. This is my job because I'm here to kind of educate you guys, but at the same time, if you had a chance and you could afford it, okay, would you be able? Would you want to change this picture?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Of course.
So in other words, if I understand you correctly, what you're trying to tell me, if you could afford it, instead of buying bottled water, what you already been doing all these years, and maybe if I wouldn't come, you would continue doing this. Instead of that, so imagine that money is gone from your budget. And no more filter for a refrigerator or a Brita filter, okay? So in other words, I'm not adding anything to your budget. You're already paying for it, so I just replace. Doesn't make sense to install the filtration, and you have this. By this time, I'm gonna put my water and I'm gonna let it cook, whatever. And they're worse water, so I take my water and whatever the dirty boiled water or whatever they have, or regular temperature, doesn't matter. Okay, and I put it inside, and you're gonna see that you're not gonna see all this in my water. Okay.
So the first time we compared their best water to their worst.
No, I would take their cleanest water. So I would take their bottled water or filtered water. And because I'm talking about bottled water first and then about filters right now, I'm going to talk. So I would go over
compared to their tap.
Because by that time, usually I already finished with filtration as well. Like I would say, like Brita filter, I would go over. It's just I don't want to keep it too long. But I'm just saying, like I would just talk about bottled water, and I would talk about filtration, because I would say whatever filter you have in the refrigerator, okay. The reason we call them filter for the conscience, not for the water, it makes you feel good that you have a filter. But look, does it really filter anything?
Right.
Okay. The reason is, if you go to their website, whether it's a pitcher or tap or refrigerator filter or whatever you have, the single cartridge, it doesn't remove anything from the water. It reduces.
Right.
The remove and reduce are totally different things, Leon. Right? You agree? You can be a little bit pregnant.
Right.
Either pregnant or not. If you have your dog lucky, okay, if I put a little poop from their from them and put it in my clean water, would you drink it? Probably not,
Oh,
right?
no, it's really
Okay, even if I call it little dirty, you wouldn't, right? You wouldn't drink it. So reduce, they use with the word up to 99%, but up to could be 1% or less than 1% or 2%. In your case, it was maybe 10%, but the rest is still there. So if I ask you which one of those chemicals, Jennifer, you want in your water, the answer is probably none, correct?
Right.
So what's the point of having filter if it doesn't filter everything?
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So we are Home Depot service provider. So we Home Depot recommends us because it's American company since 1970. So we're over 50 years. And if you go to Consumer Report ratings for water filtration, you see like Consumer Report water filter ratings. Okay, Connecticut, it has highest rating. You see the 95 Consumer Report, #1 company for the past 15 years. So if it's me, I want the best for my health. I don't know, how about you? You too? Okay, so what if I tell you that you actually, I can help you to relieve you from this problem, and you can, for convenience, to have clean filtered water right here, okay? And it wouldn't cost nothing extra out of your budget, because you already been spending, like if you would cook, it would cook sometimes $2 a day, like if you need 2 gallons, or like $4 a day, that's times 30 days. We drink almost every day usually. So it's like over $100, like $120 a month, correct?
Right.
What if I tell you your tax is going up $50 from now on, but the problem is gone? Like somebody came from the city and said, we'll fix it, that's it, no more bottled water for you. Would you say yes, go ahead, fix it? You pay $1,000 or $50 on top? Yeah, but they're not coming. They're not gonna do anything. I have to disappoint you. But you can, okay, it doesn't matter what coming in. We install whatever the best purification system, and you have, the only thing you have outside is the extra faucet, and it can be connected to the refrigerator if I see there's a connection. If there's a coffee made, or you can make it hot, you can make it seltzer, you can make it whatever you want it. Okay, but as long as you don't drink this, you agree that this is our family shouldn't be drinking this.
Right. Of course.
Right? Is this, instead of $120, $50, $40, $50, is that something is doable, Leon? So you don't have to buy bottled water no more.
Oh, it's an extra expense.
Not extra. We just accomplished that it's no more bottles. Okay, you don't have to buy bottles, because why would you want to buy bottles with plastic and all these pollution and not good for you? So whatever, $120 is gone. So you don't have to spend it. You have right here clean water as much as you want. So she can cook.
Makes sense.
So how can I get clean water?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, is that something that you can afford? Like
Yeah.
$40, $50, so you don't have to buy bottled waters no more?
Yeah.
Great. Great.
If I'm switching out the price, yeah.
Yeah, because we're not adding, we're just replacing, and you actually end up saving, like at least $60, $80 a month, and you don't have to carry, lift it. Oh, I remember I don't have to carry those bottles. Leo, who's in your family usually lifting and storing this like everywhere? It's like, oh, we out of water, you have to go, you have to get the water. Can you imagine that the problem's done, and you have peace of mind that you can drink and stuff. So right here, I can say like, you know what, like let me check it. It's just usually we need a good credit for this to see if you qualify, and we have differences. I can, from here, I don't have to even show what's like. If I want, I can show them how we do it. Okay, so they understand. Or if they tell me I have to think about it at this point, I don't even go there. So okay, thank you, bye. Okay, thank you for your time. But obviously nobody's gonna say no.
Right.
It's like, well, what is that? How does this work? Okay, so in other words, if you understand, then we can. This is not what it looks like. Okay, this is the way we get this water. The bad water first goes through these pre-filters. These pre-filters, they're like the one that you in the refrigerator. They don't actually filter anything. They just prepare the water. We do use them as well, but they're only to protect the main filter. The main filter inside is kind of like this paper towel. Sometimes I put it down and I put this, and it catches the paper towel, catches the dirt. So all this stuff, bigger stuff, like contaminants, bacteria, viruses, they are too big to pass through this little. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. They're too big to put through this tiny pore. So literally, a clean water sips through this tiny pore, and that's why we need some kind of reservoir tank, which holds about 3 gallons of clean water. And that's why, because it takes almost half an hour, 40 minutes to an hour, depending on the pressure. That's why we need this extra faucet that every time you open the faucet, the clean water comes out from this reservoir, and all the dirty water, like bacteria, viruses, heavy metal, they're too large and they're going to the waste. So that's how we separate. Not the same way like in your breeder or refrigerator. That's why it showed you even worse, because it concentrated all these chemicals, but separated. And this, we have unique features that nobody else has, that this system automatically, whatever builds up, automatically cleans out all the contaminants in the water. Other filters, they collect and eventually they push those through, and people think that they're drinking clean water, but it's actually becoming worse, and they're like, how come is my filter is getting dirty? Like exactly in your case. So this patent allows the system to remain inside the main filter always clean. So it has 10-year warranty, so you don't have to change it for almost over 10 years, that it cleans itself, okay? And no contaminants. The system has leak alarm. The system has, if I see that they're, if there's like, oh, it's too much, so I can go to, even without showing actual system, I just explain, so I can sell them AquaSmart for, let's say, $40, K5 for $50, or whatever I want to sell, that's what I'm selling. You want to go somewhere?
No, I was getting up.
Oh, I see. Okay, so the system also has, so this is what it looks like, right? This is where the water is stored. This is what it's called pure thermometer, and the filters are inside right here. So this device is actually will automatically shuts down the filter, so it's either gonna give you clean water or no water at all.
Right.
So in other words, if I don't change the oil in the car, I don't care. It's not my car. I lease it, so I can go with 2,000 miles. Nobody's gonna get hurt. It's a piece of metal. But if your milk is rotten and expired, you're not gonna give it to your kids, correct, Jennifer?
Right.
So this system will protect you and itself, so you don't overuse it. Because one family have 2 people, another family have 10 people. They drink more than you are. How do I guess? Everybody use guesstimation. This is no guessing. So it either give you clean water or no water at all. That's what I want from filter. I don't want maybe or a little pregnant, bride. Okay. The system also will have leak alarm. So in case if there's a leak, okay, it automatically shuts down. Okay, the system, so there's no damage. Like sometimes you hear, I don't know, you heard a couple of months ago, this guy in Manhattan installed in one of those high rises, $1 million apartment. He bought something on Amazon. He asked the maintenance guy to install it. He went on vacation somewhere in Fiji or whatever, Bali. It flooded 52-story while he was on vacation behind the wall, and there was more than $10 million in damages.
Wow.
Okay, do you think Amazon is gonna cover the bill?
Wow.
Okay, just because it was like some cheap system that they bought online. Okay, so here we have a company that automatically protects you. There's no damage, so you don't have to worry about it and have peace of mind if you're at work or you're sleeping. The system automatically shuts down, and also the system is customized. So if you want to make water alkaline or add hydrogen, okay, you can customize it and you can take it with you anywhere you go. Okay, it's international, so even if you decide to move tomorrow to Israel, Jennifer, or Italy or Lithuania, you can take the system not only in the United States anywhere, but also around the world, and it's the same company, so we know exactly what's going on. But the most important thing, again, there's many, I'm a professional, I'm doing this for almost 20 years. People are like, what's, I see so many filters and there's plenty of filters, okay? They call filters, but they don't actually certify to remove these contaminants. So we are actually #1 consumer report company because you see certificate comparison chart that our system removes all of these contaminants that you saw in your report, like PFOA, dioxin, arsenic, and some, not really, some they remove, some don't, okay? So it means that you're drinking those contaminants. Are you okay with something like that? That some remove, some not? No, what's the point? So you want to be with company that reputable, that big company did their research, because when people say I have to do research or ask my uncle, okay, you don't go for root canal to ask your uncle. You go to professional, okay? Or your car breaks, you don't take to your auntie, Jemima or whatever. Okay, but I'm just saying, Consumer Report spends millions of dollars. That's actual research. They hire scientists. They put chemicals through hundreds or thousands of filters, and they see which one. So our system is #1, and that's why people trust us. And after the system is installed, I come back and I do the same test you see with people, Indian, Haitian, Chinese, Polish, okay? Doesn't matter where they come. Like you Israeli, okay? We have Israeli customers.
You know the guy?
You know him?
Yeah.
Oh, he lives not far from you.
I think he goes to my show sometimes.
Say something in Hebrew.
He lives in Cedarhurst?
Very good.
He lives in Cedarhurst?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, so, and I come back and I do, it's not like Michael doing magic tricks and stuff like that. Okay?
That's what my mom called when he came.
Yeah, magic tricks, yes. I know, they're doing magic tricks. Okay? Pretty much, right here, I can close them right now with just filtered water. If I see that they're not enough time or they're not into too much, I would rather close them right now with just drinking water and not go into the whole house filtration. Okay, because I can lose them, because they would say in the end, they're gonna say, I'm gonna think about it, it's too much money for us. Okay, if they say, what about the bathing, shower and stuff? I said, you know what, like if you want, I can stay a little bit longer and explain to you, but my opinion, this is a must. This is something every family have to have, okay? If this is $50 or something that you're okay, instead of paying, like, yeah, of course, like, if I see that they're responding like this, no problem. So I can go and continue this and take a chance, but I'm just gonna tell them in the beginning, it's like, you know what? But listen, even sometimes people want to know what's going on. Even if you just start with drinking water, you can always add on the whole house filtration later. But this is most important. You agree with me?
Of course, Mike.
Yes? Okay, so this way I can tell if they say, what about the whole house filtration? So guys, there's actually, remember I told you in the beginning, there's two different types of water. There's drinking quality and the whole, working quality. Okay, there is a way that we can fix all of this, including drinking and bathing, showering, what you washing, right? Because it does affect, believe it or not, you're already spending thousands of dollars and don't realize it, that you're fighting all this. There is a way I can fix it, we can fix it, and not a penny would come out of your budget. How's that sound? Sounds intriguing, correct? Well, that's actually happening. But before we do that, I have to make sure, I have to go and see, Leon, do you know where your water main is?
I do.
Okay, if there's a drain and stuff like that. I can do it in the beginning, depending on the situation. If I came in and they were interested in doing water filtration. If it's just one of those gift things, okay, so I can do it slowly without, checking everything and stuff like that. So if there's a basement, I go where your water main is. I look if there's a drain. nearby, if there's the pipe, if there's a trap, or if this is something you're gonna have to learn along the way where it is. But I'm just saying, like, if I would see that there is enough space to install the filter, or there used to be filter or something like that, or there's a drain, there's a laundry machine. So if I can see that there's possible, I said, great, okay, it's possible to do it. Let me explain. Let's move to the kitchen. And I would ask, like, do you have a towel, like any type of towel, like one of those thick ones, like
a small hand towel?
No. Yeah, we're recording. Okay, thank you. Yes, if you want, so I usually would come and move over there.
You want to keep it on the same recording? Or
Yeah, keep recording. Yeah, it's okay. I'll edit it. Yeah, keep recording. It's fine. Just put it there, over there, on this table. Туда вот, посмотри, она идет за нами, да? Okay. Okay. Okay, you guys just stay. No, it's fine. It's good. Just stay here and it's fine. So I would usually ask for a paper towel. Let's assume this is a paper towel or something. Okay, and I would say something like this. Okay. Bless you. Okay. Now, Jennifer. Okay. Yep. I don't know what your relationship with the natural organic products, like cleaning product, but most of the people, it's in our nature to lean towards natural. So if I give you soup, one with natural ingredient, another one with made of some chemical, we usually choose natural. So every time when we see natural product, whether it's a food or cleaning product, if we see like it's a natural organic, we're trying to lean to it. But sometimes people realize, I don't know if it ever happened to you, sometimes you buy some kind of like natural shampoo or body wash, and you're like, there's no suds, there's no, like, it doesn't suds up. Have you ever noticed it? Yeah. And the problem is, whatever you just saw in the cups, these things are inorganic minerals and other things like iron, calcium, magnesium. They affect the way our plumbing, okay, builds up, right? There's the pipes, the heating element in your dishwasher, in your laundry machine. Eventually, it doesn't allow soap to mix with water, and the soapy solution stays on your hair, and it's very hard to brush. Sometimes women complain, very hard for girls to brush. It dries the scalp, so it could be dandruff. The skin becomes very itchy, irritated, so people develop psoriasis, different skin condition, rashes, because what happened, that layer, sticky layer of soap, blocks the natural oil to come out of the skin, and that's what moisturizes the skin. When we use the lotion to pull this skin out, that's what moisturizes, actually how the moisturizer works. The dishes doesn't come out very bright, and the clothes, maybe you notice, sometimes we buy this, remember this towel was nice and fluffy when we bought it, and now it feels like, look, feels like a sandpaper, right? That's because the soap is still staying inside that towel, and you throw it into the dryer, and the dryer dries that soap, and that's what ruins and makes the clothes dingy looking. Maybe you notice sometimes you have a nice shirt, you have to take it to dry clean because, you know, a couple of washes it looks like a rag. Right. And it's a very nice, expensive wash. Yeah, it's okay. So let me explain to you something. This is how it works. This is a mini version of the system. This is not what the system looked like. Of the whole house filtration, something that installed inside the
pre-filter?
Huh?
Pre-filter?
No, this is like a mini demonstration set to produce water, something that comes out of the water when people install the whole house filtration.
So it's charcoal in there?
Yes, so it's partially charcoal, and there's this media called resin. It's an ion exchange resin, they call it. Now, what's gonna happen? Okay, I'm gonna take 2 flasks, and one One, I'm gonna take with regular water. You see, I rinse it so people can see that there's nothing there. And I use it the same amount of water, like about 200 milligrams of water. And I take, but what I didn't show you, that I usually first turn on the room temperature, warm temp water, to fill up this thing, and then I switch it to cold water. Because I want my water to be nice and warm, so it sets up better.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It still
No,
sounds like
I know, but it works much better.
Okay.
Just trust me. Okay, and I use my water, 200 ml, so I use the same amount of water. Okay, and at the same time, I have a towel right here.
Yeah.
I put it down and I fill up the towel with this water, enough to submerge the towel so it's wet. And I kind of like push it so make sure it's wet. So once it's done, I can turn it off. Okay, that's why it's very nice to have this switch so I don't have to constantly go back and forth. And I have enough extension cord just in case, so slack, so I don't have to put it inside, but you improvise just in case.
Hose like that too.
Yeah, well, if you need to, you can extend it, you can ask. So what happens is I usually have this little natural soap within the reach, and I also have a little soap canister, soap bar where I store the relatively new bar soap, okay? So Jennifer, this is a pure, nice, natural, pure soap, the one that you find in the natural store. Okay, can you please?
We're recording.
Okay, we're recording.
We're
recording. Okay, so I put the purpose of any cleaning product, whether it's a dial soap or body wash or something, and I usually sometimes even give them an example. Okay, like I'm sure you're familiar with companies like Tide, Gain, Windex, Ajax, right? Like Dial. They all know a little secret. This is the secret. Pay attention. If I put 2 drops, 1, 2, 1, 2, okay, inside, the purpose of the soap is to mix with water to create suds. Now, if the water is nice and soft, the suds are ready. The soap is ready to mix, and you see, like even without doing it, it's already starting working. What happened here? You see the water becomes like a little cloudy, milky. That's because the soap is fighting these chemicals that we were talking about, and it doesn't allow for it to create bubbles. So imagine you, Jennifer, bought organic natural soap, and you're trying to do laundry with natural laundry detergent.
It's not cleaning the clothes. Yeah.
2 drops was enough of concentrated clean soap to create suds, and it's ready to clean your skin, your hair, your clothes, your dishes, what we were just talking about. What happened here?
Right.
Nothing. So you have 2 choices, Jennifer. One choice, if you're using natural, you have to put more of the product, which means you have to buy more often and more product. So I put 1, 2, 3, 4. The more hardness, the more soap you can add. If it's New York City, 6 is the max. If you're in Long Island, you can go up to 10.
Right.
Okay, so there's 3 times more soap here. I'm trying to make it work. Kind of starting to work, but in a second you're gonna see those suds are starting to. You see they're starting to disappear.
What do you call it? Suds?
Suds is bubbles.
SUDS.
Oh yeah.
It's a bubble.
That's the foam.
Foam.
That's what actually cleans.
That's what cleans the dirt from your skin, from your hair, from your clothes. The actual soap suds, because they lift the dirt.
It's like the lather. You know, that's the lather.
Right.
Now, as you see, do you see how the water becomes saturated with soap? So that solution is very hard to get rid of. It stays on everything. So by that time, I already can take the towel, and all I do is like, you see, I'm doing it right in front of them. All I'm doing is just rinsing it.
Right.
I rinse it, and the water becomes very soapy.
Ringing.
Right.
What is it?
I'm ringing.
Ringing.
W-R-I-N-G.
Okay, whatever. No, ringing. Okay. So I take and I use this water. So first of all, I show them that it was clean before I even put the water inside.
Right.
Like, does it look clean? I actually take the first water and I rinse it off, make sure that it's clean. So they see there's nothing there. And I show them, do you see it's nothing here, it's clean. So, and I pour it like this from the like high, so this creates more bubbles. Okay, so all I do about this much, close it, make sure it's locked, and I shake it like very fast, and the foam like this come up like this, this much. I said, look, this is just little towel, or I use half of the towel, like whatever, they give me a big towel, I just dip the end of it. Can you imagine how much soap sitting inside this towel? And every time you wash yourself, you dry yourself with these chemicals.
Right.
Well, the secret that I told you, all these companies, they know about this. If they use natural product in their products, like the natural solution, it will never work. People never gonna buy it. So that's why, and they're expensive. You go sometimes, like $20. You know, we walk out $400 cart, and it's like, oh my, eggs are so expensive. It's not the eggs.
They're back right away.
That's why they mix it with groceries. There's no store separately selling cleaning products. They mix it together so people don't realize how much money. But it's expensive. So especially if you would use natural, can you imagine you have to use 3 times more for it to work, and it's still not going to work. Look, you see. So they came up with the idea. How do we encourage people to use natural product, and it makes sense for them? So they came up with the idea. You see this company, Pure Selects, Clean Green Safe. This is it's called environmental green initiative,
right?
Like solars and stuff like that.
Right.
So people make sense to them. So they are manufacturing natural cleaning product made out of natural ingredients, environmentally friendly, FDA approved, all this stuff, made out of coconut, fruit, vegetables, and stuff like that. Laundry soap. 1 bottle replaces 8 bottles of Tide.
Wow.
Automatic dish soap, regular dish soap for the sink, multi-purpose cleaner. 1 bottle replaces 64 bottles of Fantastic or 409. You know multi-purpose cleaner, Leo, right?
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
Glass cleaner, 64 bottles of Windex, 1 bottle replaced. Kitchen and bath cleaner, hand soap like this, body wash, shampoo, oatmeal bar, and glycerin. Jennifer, can I ask you to do this something? Can you come up here?
Yeah.
Can you put, okay, Leon, you have some. Okay, do me a favor. I will move this, I don't want to get it dirty. Okay, do me a favor, wash your hands with this water. Yeah. Make sure, like you're a surgeon preparing for the brain surgery or something. Make sure it's wet, back and front.
Yes, got it.
Okay?
The soap.
Now, do me a favor, use this soap, and lather it's really good. Like, make sure it's soap on back and front. Do you feel how smooth it is? Like, do you feel very smooth? Okay, go ahead, rinse it. Now, make sure there's no soap. There's no soap on your skin. Now, do you feel how it feels like a little silky?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people mistake that feeling that there's still soap on it, but there's actually, what I just did, the first, whatever the water that you have, whatever the soap that you had on your skin, I rinsed it off and your natural oil just came up. So this, what you feel in the slippery, as soon as you're gonna dry your hand right now, you're gonna feel that there's actually, feels like somebody put lotion on this hand. Go ahead, you can step out. Да я знаю, что он ходит, мы записываем, что я могу сделать.
I need that.
We're recording, we're gonna call you back.
Ну мы записываем, что? Что? Ну говори.
I will put the pause.
Да. Я не знаю, они не могут, я знаю, что... Ну это что-нибудь срочно? Мы сейчас закончили бы, ты перезвонил бы. Ну, можно даже раньше, я еще 10-15 минут и может подключиться, если хотите. Я вам позвоню тогда. Окей, 3:30, good. Окей. Okay, so in other words, how's your hands feel, Liam?
Amazing, very
Amazing.
soft, yeah.
Can you imagine the way your hands feel right? Oh wow, it feels very soft. Okay, you can feel the whole body feels the same every time you walk out of the.
I can't imagine.
Can you imagine? Now, what I wanted to explain to you, how, remember how I told you that it does make sense, go ahead, stand there, okay? That we can fix this and that not a penny would cost out of your budget?
Yes, yeah.
Now,
How can that ever work?
Jennifer, usually you buy something like in Costco, BG, right?
Yeah.
If I give you right now $20 to buy me whatever the product I just mentioned, okay? $20, would you, for a week supply, would you bring me any change back?
No.
So in other words, probably one item sometimes costs $20.
Right.
Average, I know you never calculated. If you want, we can calculate. But average family spends anywhere from $100 to $200, up to $250 a month. Well, because $20 a week, that's already $80 a month. That's your family of five, so it's like it's much more than that. Like yeah, right? So imagine that bill is gone, no more. No more. But we still have to bathe, right? We have to do. Would you do it without me, with me or without me? You're still gonna do laundry. You still gonna do dishes. You're still gonna do right, correct? So they came up with the idea. When people install drinking systems, so there's no more bottled water, that bill is gone, whatever, $100, and you're paying $50. And whatever you were spending on cleaning supply, this beautiful, clean, natural product, it's safe, there's no chemicals going in the environment, safer for your skin. Your appliances last 5 to 7 years longer. Your heating elements, you save energy. They calculate that it makes sense that when people install the whole house filtration, like this, for example, I show them the picture, whatever I want to sell them, whether it's a dechlorinator with the Eco Water or Ergo or 4040. So I said, by installing this filtration, we replace all those chemicals that you don't have to, and they ship you $8,000 worth of product, which is 5 to 7 years supply for an average family, for free in a package.
What, they will all come in the mail together? Or
No, it's first I'm gonna give you like a month supply. It comes like with this dispenser. So all you do, okay, you take a big bottle, you pull a little bit of concentrate. The rest you take water from the whole house filtration, which makes the water like this, nice and soft. And you shake it, and you have 1 month supply for body wash, shampoo, laundry. You finish, you take a big bottle, so like these bottles, they're concentrated. Remember 64 bottle? Each it's very concentrated. One bottle replaces 64 bottles of Windex, body wash, something. So we give you 1 year supply. When you finish, you send email, they ship you another year's supply. You can use your own stuff also, but you will use 90% less because it will be very concentrated. But here we're giving you for free, so you don't have to spend money, $200, $300, whatever you're doing right now. So what we do, we come up with a package. When you install the drinking system, the whole house system, it's let's say $130, $140 a month. Instead of spending $200 there, $100, $300. So half of what you was paying, and you have clean filtered water throughout the whole house.
Also, before you mentioned that we're gonna first start with the drinking water system because it's cheaper.
That's
and then
only
build up.
if I saw that they are responding and they're like, what am I bathing, showering?
Oh, then
I
you
said,
go up this.
I can close them right there, like just install, or I say, you know what, let's install this.
Right.
You see how it works? I'll come back and explain. There's a way how we can fix it all together.
Only because
and then close it there, because you have a chance of, if you're not really strong with this, and you're not sure, there's a chance they're gonna say, oh, we're gonna think about it.
Right.
Okay?
Only because the natural soap guy, when we were on the phone, he's like, "Oh, first sell package. If they don't want, then only sell drinking water system." So we go
Because they sell,
they want the soap.
because they have hard water, so that's why they sell first the whole house filtration and then the drinking system.
Okay.
Is that why
Yeah.
you're asking?
Yeah.
Or?
He just said we should sell it as a package, but also he wants us to sell the whole house so he gets the soap.
Of course, because
it benefits him. So forget about that.
So what I'm saying is that my goal is to show them. So she felt it, that the water feels good. It makes sense. they're gonna be spending less. So again, imagine Leon, imagine the situation. The city came to you and says, guys, I know we have all these issues with the hard water. Most likely you're gonna have to use a very harsh chemical in order for it to work, at least, right? That's why they put this forever chemical, but they end up being back in the water, and we have to spend millions, billions of dollars to clean it up, and then it goes back again. How do we encourage you? So what I'm saying is that imagine your taxes from $1,000 that you're paying right now went up $130. Did you feel anything? Nothing?
Yeah,
Not really?
$130.
But imagine there's no more bottles and no more chemicals. But you're already spending. That's what I was trying to show you.
Right.
With me or without me, you're still gonna buy bottled water. You're still gonna buy soap. That's why it makes sense to protect your biggest investment. So this way it will last. And we already have calculated that you like with solar. Sometimes it takes years, but within 10 years, you save over about over $20,000. You will save because your appliances, your clothes, your skin, you don't have to clean up all this stuff, your dishes and stuff. Right. Everything's gonna work, and you enjoy it at the same time for less money. What you already paying. So it's not, that's why I told you it doesn't cost penny out of your budget because you're already spending. I didn't buy that bottle. I didn't buy that dial bottle. You're still gonna do it with me or without me. Right. Makes sense to do it with clean water and enjoy it and so on. You know what I mean? So if you want, I can get to see if you guys get approved. And tomorrow you can have everything. When is the best time? You think we need like 3-4 hours for everything.
For installation.
Or we can start with the drinking and what's the best way. And you go into closing, like okay.
Yep.
So show us the closing.
Okay. Ask me the
Yes,
question.
you can say,
So
everyone
let's sit
say,
down.
oh, you know what?
Let's sit down.
Let's sit down.
We're good with the drinking, but we
very
should
important.
think about the
Yeah, no problem. Let's
with
sit
the
down.
soap because I'm using like the special shampoo for my
Go
hair.
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. The beauty of this, if you decide to say, you know what? By the way, there's the smells also. I forgot to mention. Okay.
Yeah, I smell it
what it does? Okay, the way it works. So you take a big bottle. You see right here. You take a big bottle into the dispenser, which they actually give you for free. Put a little bit. Okay, before you put in, if you want your clothes to smell like coconut, okay, like cotton blossom. If you want it to smell like something, you put it. If you don't want it, if you're hyperallergic, this is all you see. It says hyperallergenic, concentrated, custom, made with plant-based, everything natural. If you like your shampoo, go ahead.
These are all different? Or those?
Yeah,
So I still can use it?
Wow.
Yes, you can still use it, but you will use 90% less. So that bottle that you usually use, it's gonna last you 3 times longer. Because you see how you see over there, 2 drops still staying, 2 drops versus 3 times more. So next time when you order, let's try it. Maybe you like it. But if you say, let's say, you know what, I don't like your shampoo, but I like my shampoo. No problem. Next time when you order, say no shampoo, but I like your laundry detergent. Give me more laundry detergent. And you can choose more laundry detergent, more
So I can
winter.
change
Yes, you
anytime.
can change the next time you order. Yeah.
So you have an $8,100.
Yeah, $8,000 worth of product because this company sells online, but each bottle costs almost $50. You can buy it, but it's not going to work with your water. That's the problem because natural doesn't work with these chemicals. So first you have to get rid of these chemicals. Then you can use whatever you want. You can use your own essential oils if you want. They give you for free because they want to encourage you. So there's no chemicals going in the environment.
To save the planet, yeah.
Well, because it's good for you, it's good for the environment, and they don't have to clean it up, and people know,
How are they making money, by the way, Pure Select?
Don't worry about it. Who cares? Who cares? As long as you get it in the package, it makes sense.
I'm just wondering.
No, it's because it makes sense for them, because it costs them billions of dollars to clean it up, and they still can do it. So the only way to encourage people to use more natural, so more people are going to use natural, the less they're going to clean up, and they don't have to deal with all this stuff.
Right, no, I'm just saying,
Lawsuits
how does
and
the
all-
company benefit? I'm just curious. Like,
What do you mean? Us?
This company, no, the soap company.
Okay.
How-
You
how
want
do
me
they-
to answer
how do
right
they make
now?
money?
On the video?
Oh,
I'll do it
yeah,
later.
yeah.
Okay?
I forgot about the video.
Yeah, okay. So what's the question? What's the question? What's the closing you're saying?
No, you told so.
Oh, I said like, so if you want, I'll check to see if you're approved for this program.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. No, drinking system we need for sure, but
Okay,
the
so no
whole
problem.
house
We can
system,
start with drinking
we
system.
can see
Anytime
it.
you want to add it on, it's no problem. It's $50
You're
here
not-
and $80 there, so
But
$90.
I try to close right here. Why now? You should buy. Ты не делай, you not try to close right now.
If they want to close, they'll close themselves.
But okay, maybe he 50-50. He think about it. You're not
What-
trying
what's
this
the-
one. You're just selling the drinking,
You-
and for the next time the whole house system.
If I didn't do everything correct and they say, you know what, I want to do just
Okay,
drinking.
Jennifer wants, for example.
Yes.
But Leon told me, oh, you know what, I should think about it. But you see, it's 50-50. If you push right now a little bit,
Yeah, okay.
maybe you sell.
I can push. If he's not on the same page, even if I push, he's still gonna say no. I don't want it.
So you're
he
not
has to.
doing
He has to. Everybody has to be on the same page. He's like, "What, Jennifer? You want it? Yeah, yeah." It's like happy wife, happy. I can kind of like play along. It's like, yeah, of course, happy wife, happy life. Of course, she wants it. Who doesn't want to have for their wife to have their skin is nice and smooth and their hair is very nice? I'm sure, Leon, you want Jennifer to be happy and the kids not to drink this, okay?
I'm not going
I understand.
to
So
say.
what-
Okay, guys, let's do this way. Let's install first the drinking system. You will have the
I
gas
have
from
to-
the company.
Everybody's going to be individual. So if I see that they're yes, let's do it. Of course. How fast can you install it? When they asking me this question, I'm not gonna. Yeah, of course I'm gonna do everything. But if he says like, well, $130, Liam, $130 is a lot of money for me. You know what? You know. Even though I just explained to him that he's spending $350.
Yeah, sometimes happen, yeah.
So, but just want to make sure, David, that you understand that you paying right now. We calculate approximately about if you would buy bottled water and still continue using what you're doing.
But is this like a contract?
Well, what do you mean contract?
Well, the $130
Yeah,
is
well,
like a contract.
well, let me ask you something. Will you stop using body wash tomorrow or laundry detergent?
Not likely, but I can.
Okay,
Yeah,
if I
you
want
can,
to
but
cancel,
you know you
if
can.
I want to cancel
So no, what I'm
tomorrow.
saying, like, it's a program, you guys. In other words, we're trying to replace the bill that you have with the less, and you have better quality. So I'm not gonna stop drinking coffee tomorrow because in 10 years, if I calculate how much coffee I spend in 10 years, it's gonna be thousands of dollars. Do I stop drinking coffee because of this? Yeah, it's something like we guarantee the system has 10-year warranty. So anything happened during that time, the system has 10-year warranty, so we guarantee that we'll come, fix it, replace, as long as you do the maintenance once a year for a drinking system and the whole house system once a year, maintenance needs to be done. The drinking system has $250 as a set of filters. Okay, if you want, you can do it yourself, or the technician will come and do it for you, disinfect and everything. The whole house system, depending on what I'm selling, it has a sediment filter which needs to be replaced at least once a year. It's $125. Okay, this is the carbon filter that replaces the carbon, which chlorine disinfection byproduct, and this is the softener. You see that bag of salt? It costs about $7-8 in Home Depot. Your responsibility is once in a while there's a special meter that tells you, comes notification on your phone, add salt. So all you have to do is just put a bag of salt, it mixes with that media, you see, it mixes. It needs to be, that's why we need backwash to go into the drain. Okay, so
it's extra payment, yeah, once a year.
It's kind of like to maintain the system, yes. Okay, I have people that never pay for that. If you want, I can tell you how. Do you want to know how they don't never pay? Okay. What do you think if I show it to anybody you know? Like, do you think that they would think that it's not okay for their kids to drink this? I'm sure you know a few people who drink water, right, Leon? Maybe
Only one.
One person, yeah. All you have to do is just recommend. I'll come to show it to your friends, family, co-worker. I'll show them this, and trust me, out of 10 people, 8 people say I don't want to drink this. If they do get like one drinking system or a whole house system, whatever they, I give you $150 for as many people as you want. So 2 people get you free maintenance for drinking system. I have people that, you know, I have a Judy from Valley Stream. She gave me 32 people in 2 weeks. I wrote her a check for $5,000, and she gives me 3-4 people because she's like, she sees somebody with bottled water. It's like, no, Michael will call you. But some people recommend it.
Is she looking to work here? Okay.
That's right. So I'm just saying, at this point, this is something I can't do right now on the phone, you know, like too much, because there's so many deviation here that we can go
we'll do that separate training.
This has to be totally different thing. Your goal at this point to bring them right here, where like, when can we install it?
Of course.
How fast can you do it? Can we do it tomorrow? If you did this and they tell you this, you did everything correct. If they're like, oh, it's expensive, then you didn't explain, so they understand that I have to have it. Like, I already spending $400, I'm gonna spending third of that, and I'm gonna have clean filtered water. What's $130 these days for the family budget?
People don't understand that.
You go eat sushi and you're done. The same amount. So until you break that barrier, that it's not extra, it's instead of what you're already spending, then you have nothing to worry about. And if you feel you're not there and you didn't push the down button, so just let go and just do the whole house filtration, you know, presentation when you're doing VIP. When you install the drinking system, I'm gonna come. You make sure that they're both home, and you do this after they already installed the drinking system. You show them everything's good, guys. You happy? By the way, remember I told you that there's a way we can do this. Okay, you can go before when you finish with drinking. I go down like, can I take a look to see if it's possible? Maybe you can do it. If I see that there's no drain, it's not okay. So maybe I'll come back and do the whole house data presentation. So I know that I don't have to go through, because ask me how many times I did the presentation on soap and there was no drain, there was no space.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, idiot.
Yeah.
Well, if I only just went down and take a look, but now I know, so I don't stop talking unless I know it's possible to do it.
Yep.
And you learn the hard way. It's okay. Questions?
Where are you going after this?
Okay, that's what I'm doing.